like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth off LVBC. We are the underground out the job. We built this whole thing by ourselves, look in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, man. Y'all press 1 in the comment section if y'all can hear me. Got a mic check. 1 2 1 2. Man, Diddy has hella problems. As now, Diddy, dirty money. Dawn Richard is on the stand, and she is going toast to toast G's with Sean Diddy Combs, man. And this is absolutely embarrassing for Diddy, as Diddy is out here getting worn out on a Friday afternoon, man. Y'all can hear me? Salute, man. Smash the like button. Share this video. And everybody, if you ain't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Let's get right to it. So the judge says the U.S. may call its next witness. And so the government says, Your Honor, the government calls Dawn Richard to the stand. And they asked her, where are you from? And Dawn Richard said, New Orleans, Louisiana. And the government says, from 2004 to 2011, who did you work for? Dawn Richard said, Puff, Sean Combs. The government said, do you see him? She says, yes. The government says, who is depicted in this photo? Dawn Richard says, Cassie. The government says, in 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? Dawn Richard says, she was attacked by Sean Combs and kicked. The government says, did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Dawn Richard said, often. A photo of Diddy along with dirty money have been shown to the court, to the jury. The government then says, and shout out to Inner City too, y'all doing a great job. The government then says, when you were a member of this group, when were you a member of this group? Dawn Richard says, from 2009 and 2011, dirty money. The government says, the incident in 2009 when Sean Combs beat Cassie, where was it? Dawn Richard said, in Sean Combs' LA home, we were recording. The government says, what did he do? Dawn Richard says he was saying, where the fuck is my food? He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. The government said, what did she do? Dawn Richard said she went into a fetal position. The government said, then what? Dawn Richard said Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and the body, then dragged her up to the first floor, breaking the glass and yelling, I was scared for her and for me too. The government said, did you intervene? Dawn Richard said, no. The government said, did you call the police? Dawn Richard said, no. Oh, and my bad. Shout out to Stacy coming through with a $200 donation in the Cash App. We cooking. She said, and they was all doubting you too. That's a fact. That's a fact. They was all doubting me. That's a fact. That is a fact. Stand on business. You got to, these demons, you got to stomp them in the ground. Straight like that. You got to stomp these demons in the ground. I told y'all this. I told y'all. Y'all didn't want to listen to me. You're going to listen today. You're going to listen today. You're going to listen today. Ring it up. She said she ain't called the police. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Government says the next day what happened? The next day, Dawn says that it had been passionate and she was okay, that it would be better if we didn't talk, that people could end up missing, force being shown, the force being shown. Don Richards says, the government says, how did you understand that? Don Richards said, death. That nigga's done, nigga. Diddy's lawyer said, objection! Sidebar. Sidebar. The judge says, the jurors, you can leave for the weekend. Watch the Yankees play the Mets or the Knicks. If you're not in the sports, there's a lot going on. I'll see you on Monday. The jurors leave. The judge says, Miss Richard, you can leave. Game over, nigga. Game over, nigga. She just showed the force right there. That's a star witness, nigga. Diddy's lawyer said, objection. The judge shut it down, nigga. I told y'all this. Woo! Hustle man is shooter. That's a fact. Extendos in my Mac. What? What y'all say? They dropped the mic like that, y'all. Let me read that again. Don came ready for war. Oh my God. Don came ready for war. Don said, Diddy's lawyer, like, objection. Oh, Don came ready for war. Don buried this nigga. Oh, nigga, in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes. She unearthed this nigga. In 2 minutes. Man. Lord have mercy, man. Diddy's out of here, bro. He's out of here, man. He's out of here, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Lord have mercy, man. Bruh. He ain't come. That nigga, she should have took the plea deal. He could, at least he could have seen about a couple good years of his life. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's over, bro. It's a wrap, y'all. It's a wrap. Bro, the judge, look how the judge left it, y'all. Let me read this to y'all again, how this went down. Everybody need to smash the like button and subscribe. The judge says that the government played that shit great, bro. Oh, my God. They brought the special agent in. Hold on, y'all. We got to go back. We got to run it back. The special agent comes in. The special agent from the human trafficking division comes in. We all thought Don Richard was going to be next right after Cassie. Nope. Cassie done went home on a private jet. Don Richard comes in. She ain't on. Nope. We bringing in the special agent first. The government did it. Oh, my God. The government just did this so greasy. The government brought in a special agent to show. This is crazy, man. Unbelievable. How in the world did it shot the man down in the building? Boop, boop. Nigga, man down. Straight like that. How in the world did the government set this Eastern napalm bomb up like this? This was a bomb that just went off. Y'all heard it go off around the world. Man, bro. So they bring the agent in there from human trafficking. This all makes sense now. They got a tip on Diddy. Diddy wasn't supposed to get arrested early. They got a tip that Diddy ass was about to break the law again, even after he had already been ready to turn himself in New York, right by the headquarters. This dude had loads of baby oil in the hotel room. $9,000 in cash in a Louis V bag. Woman's clothes in the room. And illegal substances. Somebody go get Bookman, man. Y'all got to go. Somebody got to go get Bookman up off, scrape him up off the floor. And the agent says, took the cash out the bag and waved it in front of the jury. He waved the cash in front of the jury, man. Said, hey, look, cash right here, bro. But they trying to put this on Cassie. Like, oh yeah, it was Cassie the one that was set up to freak out. Cassie wasn't nowhere to be found when Diddy got arrested. Cassie was been out the picture. What their excuse is now? It's a rap. It's a rap, brother. That nigga should have took the plea. He should have took a plea. Because right now, he the coldest nigga in the NYC. Let's get to the, hold on. Let's get to these donations, man. Because y'all ringing it up. Hold on, man. 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 Let me see who this is. Shout out to Brian in the Cash App with the donation, man. He said Diddy can't be this stupid. And then he got the face palm. He's that stupid, bro. And all these dudes that's running around here behind him is just that way, too. They all was running behind this dude, bro. They thought this dude was smart. Yeah, man. He busting up Cassie, man. Yeah, man. Shut up. Shut it up. It's over with. This fool went to the hotel after his crib had been raided. They caught this man straight up with drugs on him. When he got arrested. Baby oil and cash. In the room. In the hotel room. Right beside. I'm going to say it again. No, hold on. I'm about to cook you right now. Charlie's Hustle's Vision sounds, bro, you sound like a super simp. No, I'm not a super simp, nigga. I'm a nigga who don't like niggas beating on hoes. Period, nigga. Y'all call Cassie a hoe, right? So I don't like niggas who beat on hoes. And guess what? If Cassie's a hoe, Diddy's a hoe, right? Y'all run around here saying, oh, Cassie, she a hoe, nigga. She a 304. Nigga, Diddy's a hoe, nigga. He a 304, nigga. Diddy out here getting dudes stuff put on his chest. And y'all running behind that? Y'all taking up for that? Y'all disgusting. You disgust me, brother. You disgust me. Come on, yeah, you know, Cassie, she a Diddy is one. He's nasty. Big Gene said he was in the store buying butt plugs. He said he asked Diddy, man, what you doing, man? Diddy said, man, you gonna let me do my shopping, man? Leave me alone. That's who y'all running up behind. A grown man who run around here calling other grown man daddy. Yeah, I like it how you talk to me, daddy. That's who y'all taking up for. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. I love it I love it when you scrambling and scraping, daddy. They taking up for that. Disgusting. They need to be stripped down. It's disgusting. And now he got caught. This man went to, let me repeat myself again. He went to the hotel in New York where he was supposed to be in New York to turn his own self in. He doesn't think that, man, they don't search my house. They don't found all that stuff in my house. Guns, substances, everything in my house. You would think he gonna go the clean way and say, you know what, let me be smart. Because I know they're gonna try and arrest me and stuff like that. Let me be smart, right? Diddy was stupid. I'm gonna tell y'all why. He always was used to getting his way. So you know what this buffoon thought he was gonna do? He thought he was gonna walk in there and get bail and be right back out. Nope. When he was denied bail the next day, that shocked him. $50 million bail denied. You know why? Because the feds was playing chess while these dudes are playing checkers. These boys out here on YouTube is sprinting when this thing is a marathon, boy. And you know what happens when you sprint fast in a marathon? You get out of breath. Meanwhile, that person who's just been pacing themselves, they end up passing you. Boop, boop, boop. Hands down. Until this man down. Now, it's finna get real ugly. Because you better ask yourself a question. What woman did Diddy have in that hotel? They haven't told y'all yet. What woman? See, this is how the feds gonna cook this dude. I told y'all, these dudes don't think on another level like me. I'm on another level, a whole nother stratosphere. Everybody listen to me right now. They're about to run this dude out the building. You guys have to look in between words. The special agent said, and I want y'all to listen to what I said. The special agent said She asked him on cross-examination, right? Diddy's lawyer asked the special agent after he said he found the money, the drugs, and the baby oil in that hotel room when Diddy got arrested. The special agent said in the hotel room. Oh no, excuse me. Diddy's lawyer asked him in the hotel room, did you see any bags and clothing indicating that woman was staying there with him? Special agent said a woman was staying there with him. The special agent said yes. How much you want to bet? Because if there was a woman's clothes in that hotel room, the feds had to have been watching Diddy and had to have known which woman was in that room. It wasn't Cassie, because Cassie was way out. That woman hasn't been identified yet. The witness list is going to come out this weekend of all the witnesses in this case, all the people that y'all want to know. Where's the Rico? Where's all the people at? That woman, you ain't going to be able to call all these girls hoes because that woman's going to come up. She might come up. We don't know. We're going to find out. But if I was a betting man, I believe that the feds found out whose clothes that was and went and jammed her up and asked her what the hell was going on and who the hell was it going on with. And I'm willing to bet if it was another sex worker that was coming in there and another woman and they had the money, the drugs, and the baby oil. Everybody was like, why are they talking about baby oil? Why are they talking about baby oil? Be quiet. The feds know what they was doing. I told y'all. They kept talking about baby oil because this fool is addicted to baby oil. And they wanted to show y'all how much he used the baby oil and the Astroglide when he was doing the freak-offs. So the baby oil and the Astroglide, they showed y'all. They painted a picture for y'all. But y'all wasn't patient. They showed y'all that the baby oil and the Astroglides were specially used for these freak-offs, where they would have these sex workers come in and pay them, which is solicitation of prostitution, right? And this clown says you haven't described the Rico yet. Your name is Big Money, we're going to call you Lil Money. Again, you sprinting, boy, when this thing is a marathon, El Stupido. See, the Rico is what you call a criminal organization, organized crime. So you have to be the biggest dummy in the world, just like all them other buffoons that's following you, because you didn't ask yourself a question. You didn't say, are the feds stupid or am I stupid? No, Big Money, we're going to call you Big Dummy because you're stupid. You know why? Because if you smell what the rock is cooking, boy, you didn't ask yourself a question. You didn't say, hey, where's all these other people they're talking about? Well, if you got questions, baby boy, I got answers. They all snitching, boy. They ain't as dumb as your boy Diddy. Itty bitty Diddy. All of his co-conspirators are going to be testifying against him. All the people that helped him are going to be testifying, buddy. That's where they at. Itty bitty Diddy supporter. You read right there in the paperwork, pre-trial paperwork, sir. By contrast, the government has provided detailed proffers of each victim's anticipated testimony with corroborating evidence. Keyword, proffers. Ask yourself, what is a proffer agreement? Ask yourself, what is a proffer agreement? What is a proffer? You know what a proffer agreement is? That's what you get when you're going to turn and snitch on Sean Puffy Combs and you don't want to get prosecuted, buddy. You know who's on that list? Is one man by the name of James Cruz, who is a part of Diddy's organization. You know what James Cruz was? The former president of Bad Boy Records. He will be testifying. in this case for the government. And you have others as well, sir. You have others as well, sir. They're going to be testifying, buddy. So when you ask, where is the RICO? Oh, you're going to see all the people that was helping Diddy organize and hide these criminal acts. They've all turned on him. They're all snitching. That's why he's going to prison for the rest of his life. And what Diddy's going to do is, because see, this lets me know you didn't read the pretrial paperwork like I did. If you were smart enough to read the pretrial paperwork, it said a lot of these things in the paperwork, what was going on. Most of these guys are going to get on the stand and give up Diddy. Now, in that pretrial paperwork, it said that some of these people, Diddy's lawyers are going to try to attack their credibility and say, oh, well, they got a felony on their record and this, that, and the third. And they're guilty of this. Yeah, but they signed proffers so that they won't be prosecuted and that their testimony will not be used against them in a court of law, sucker. So basically, they snitching because they ain't as stupid to stand beside Diddy and get prosecuted by the feds. No, big money. Big money. You cool, but I got to call you little money today. You had to get cooked. You had to get cooked, dog. You had to get cooked. You had to get cooked. You had to get, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, y'all. You had to get cooked. Shout out to Andrew Whittington in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to Brenda again in the Cash App with the donation. She said, stand on these chumps ticket. I'm standing on top of them. You already know. Because I told you, they can't beat me. I'm the best. I'm the best there is. I'm the best there was. I'm the best there ever will be doing this thing. And ain't no doubt about that. There ain't no doubt about it. Men lie. Women lie. The numbers don't lie, baby. The numbers don't lie, baby. Now, I don't told y'all this. You better ask yourself a question. When the feds went and picked up Diddy, they had that woman's clothes. You better believe they found that woman. And if they found that woman, they investigated that woman and they interviewed that woman. You better ask yourself a question. Did that woman, did she give up the sex worker? Did she give up the sex worker that they potentially were going to use a freak off with? And this is after the feds came and raided his cribs. This dude ain't got no brains. And then, to end the weekend, they did like the late, great Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah! They went to the very top rope when everybody was talking this trash. The Macho Man comes out the back, climbs to the top rope, elbow drop off the top rope on itty bitty Diddy. And that came from Dirty Money, the beautiful Don Richards. As Don Richards said, that she from New Orleans, Louisiana. And she said she called him Puff Combs. And she pointed him out in the court today. And she said in that picture, that's Cassie right there. And the government asked her, in 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? And Dawn Richards said she was attacked by Sean Combs, kicked. And the government said, did you see more violence by him against Cassie? And she said often. Why do they keep talking about the violence? Everybody keeps saying, oh, this is domestic violence. I don't see a case. They painting a picture, you idiots, you jabronis. Sex trafficking, you have three key elements to sex trafficking. Coercion, fraud, and force. force. Dawn Richards stated in her statement against Sean Combs, and this is what's going to bury him. This is what's going to bury him. And I will show everybody. Bum, 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 bum. Read that. Number 62. Let's play Barney and Friends. Mr. Combs regularly placed Miss Dawn Richard, Mrs. Richard, in similar situations with no means to escape. At Mr. Combs' drug-fueled parties, his guests, including Mrs. Richard, were required to surrender their phones upon entry. Mr. Combs kept the doors locked and guarded by security personnel, making it impossible for Mrs. Richard to leave without alerting Mr. Combs that she had done so. Mr. Combs hired police officers to attend his parties, sending a clear message to guests that his influence extended to law enforcement officers and creating a climate of fear and a tactic warning that reporting him to the authorities would be both unacceptable and futile. On many occasions, Mr. Combs had parties at his Miami, Florida residence that lasted for several days. At one party, Mrs. Richard witnessed Mr. Combs openly stating that he had arranged for busloads of young, exotic girls, such as mixed black and Asian, Indonesian, and albino. Once again, Mrs. Richard observed inebriated young girls, not women, young girls, being sexually violated by Mr. Combs and his guests. In a state of panic and terror, Mrs. Richard fled to the bedroom. Mr. Combs had insisted she stay in and barricaded the door shut with furniture. And you know what the rest is going to say on Monday. Oh, she going to get up on that stand. And if she opens that conversation about those alleged minors, remember, ladies and gentlemen, they tried to deceive y'all and tell y'all, oh, ain't nobody going to say nothing. Like the great Stone Cold Steve Austin say. That's why you read the paperwork. The feds have set this thing up perfectly. Because in the paperwork, it says minor victim number 2. And so, with minors, there is no coercion, force, or fraud. It's automatic. Your ass is going to prison. You better hope and pray that Dawn Richard do not continue to stand on business for Cassie and for the other woman that's in this case. You better hope. See, you bums didn't read the pretrial paperwork. The feds already knew they were coming at Cassie like this. Cassie wasn't the case. The case is everybody else. That's the case. And they're going to prove it with not only paperwork, with not only bank statements, with not only flight records, but with eyewitness testimony, and with Diddy's own inner circle snitching. Now, as y'all can see, she in court today said that in 2009, she observed an incident between Puff and Cassie. She said that Cassie was attacked and kicked by Sean Combs. The government asked her, Don Richard, did you see more violence by him against Cassie? And Don Richard said, often. The government then says, when you were a member of this group, when were you a member of the group Dirty Money? And Don Richard says in 2009 and 2011. And the government says the incident in 2009, when Sean Combs beat Cassie, where was it? Don Richard says, in Sean Combs' LA home, we were recording. And the government said, what did he do? And Don Richard said he was saying, where the fuck is my food? He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. This man tried to hit this girl over the head with a hot black skillet full of eggs. Cassie dropped to the ground, she said. And the government said, what did she do? And Don said she went into a fetal position. And the government said, then what? And Don Richards said, Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and in the body, then dragged her up to the first floor, glass breaking and yelling. I was scared for her and for me too. The government says, did you intervene? Don Richards said, no. The government says, do you call the police? Don Richards said, no. The government said the next day what happened? Don Richards said that it has been passionate and she was okay. That it would be better if we didn't talk, Cassie told her. That people could end up missing, Cassie told her. That's going to show you the fear, force, coercion for the sex trafficking. The government then said, how did you understand that? And Don Richards said, death. And Diddy's lawyer, objection! And the judge looked at the jurors and said, you can go home for the weekend and watch the playoffs. I'll see you on Monday. Oh my God. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Boy, and we haven't even got to him. Oh my God. And he is a firecracker. And why do I say that? Why do I say he's a firecracker? He's a firecracker because you don't know what he's going to say on the stand. You don't know what he's going to say on the stand. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Because when he was in his interrogation, they asked him one question and he went off on a whole tirade. So I can see right now, I told you, it's going to be objection after objection after objection when he get on the stand. Man. And now they got all of the witness lists that's supposed to be released this weekend in the court filings. So we're going to find out all the people who are going to come testify against y'all boy. And man, I'm finna tell y'all, but what y'all need to be thinking about, because all these fools made a grand mistake that was running around here on YouTube. They all bet all their money on Cassie Ventura when they should not have bet their money all on Cassie. What they forgot is Cassie is just victim number one. You have a victim number two, a victim number three, a victim number four, and you have a victim number five. How in the blue hell is Diddy's lawyers gonna debunk all those other victims in this case? You need to ask yourselves that question. Those lame ass excuses gonna run out you used on Cassie because he wasn't. And they're gonna say, well, where was the sex trafficking with all these other people in the coercion? You might not even heard half the story yet with the other victims. So it's things that we didn't know. For example, we didn't know about there being another woman in that hotel room with Diddy. We didn't know about him having baby oil and $9,000 in cash in that hotel room when the cops arrested him, the feds arrested him. We didn't know that. But now, and you better worry, because I told y'all, this dude right here was alive. He was alive, in my opinion, for one reason. Because there was no proof that he did not make another video copy. So you can't really do something to him. Because if something were to happen to Jonathan Audi, maybe he was smart enough to give another video to somebody else. Maybe he was smart enough to say, if something happens to me, release this shit to the world and tell them what happened. So that's why you can't bother him. Because of that. The uncertainty. But Adi couldn't have been that stupid. He had to have another tape. He had to have another video. And if they had another video and they show this video in court, man, if they show that video in court, the video that he and Diddy's lawyers said they paid the settlement for, Diddy's lawyers confirmed they paid him today in court. $5 million. It must have been something heavy on that video for $5 million. And here's the thing that everybody missed. He said that he got that video transcribed. You know what that means? That means all the words that are being said in that video were transcribed and translated. You know what that means? That means if there was somebody doing coercion, there was somebody saying, do this, do that, do that, do that. And it's all on tape. And that means that if they have Diddy on tape, orchestrating, telling them what to do, that video evidence could prove coercion. Adi's a wild card. You better ask yourself, does he have that other videotape? Did he make a copy? Cassie said in court today that she told Diddy that she was afraid that she thought this dude might have been recording them. She said Diddy told her he'd handle it. I'm telling y'all this right now. Something's going to happen. That's a surprise. It always happens like this in these cases. It's always a big surprise in all the big cases. And I knew it. I knew something's going to happen in this case. In the O.J. Simpson case, the government didn't know the Mark Furman tapes were out there. They didn't know that was coming. Something in this case over this weekend is going to blow this case off of the stacks. I'm telling y'all, something ain't right. Jonathan Audi's court date was set before this trial started. Right before this trial started, his court date was pushed till after this trial supposed to be over with. Why was that? Is it because he was working with them boys and they're just waiting for his testimony to where I believe he will be given supreme leniency for his testimony? You better believe he's getting time relief for his testimony. Man, this thing has gotten crazy. The last thing that Don Richards said was that she feared that if they told or said something or intervened, that the result would be death. That destroys Diddy. That's why his lawyer screamed objection. And the judge immediately told the jurors, and this was right at 5 o'clock, y'all can go home for the weekend. Come Monday, Don Richard gonna bury this dude on that stand. She's gonna talk about everything that happened with her. She's gonna talk about how she claims he sexually assaulted her, abused her, coerced her. She's gonna talk about all those patterns Diddy had. And then Aubrey O'Day is gonna get up there. She's gonna say the same thing. But you know the hypocrisy in the black community? The hypocrisy in the black community is that when you're a woman, you're a black woman, these niggas got different rules than they do for these black capping ass men. See, they always talk about somebody's trying to tear down a black man. How often do you hear them trying to say somebody's trying to tear down a black woman? Let me repeat myself again. How many times do you hear these Negroes saying, man, they're trying to tear down a black woman? I thought black is black. See, Sean Diddy Combs have been accused of terrorizing his own people. And these niggas turn a blind eye. Sean Diddy Combs have been accused of terrorizing his own people. And these niggas will turn a blind eye. Don Richards have had nothing dirty on her name except for that name, Dirty Money, of that group. What are they going to do? They're going to bring up some shit from middle school on her? Oh, yeah, she got in an argument at middle school with her principal. They're going to try to shame her on the stand? Can't do that. Because the jury's going to see a pattern that you guys are bullies and y'all try to shame all these women that come forward with allegations. Diddy is done. Try to tell them. That's why you always bet on ticket. Because I ain't going to miss. When I pull up from the 3, that shit going in. Game time. Shout out to Dominique Davis with the donation. $20 donation to the Cash App. She said the ones who back Diddy, the same ones that back R. Kelly. Man, salute to you, my sister. Shout out to Tammy Oliver with a $50 donation in the Cash App. She says, continue to stand tall on business ticket. You know, somebody got to do it. It's a hard job. Somebody got to do it. It's a couple of us out here. A couple good people that's out here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Gerald Johnson coming through with a $40 donation in the Cash App, man. He said her testimony going to destroy Diddy. Hey, man, listen, bro. Bro, she said death. In front of the jury, she said death. That's all y'all need to know. All these people that's watching this video, they have no idea what sex trafficking is. They act like they do, but they don't. Read the means in the second paragraph. Means of sex trafficking. This element requires demonstrating that the trafficker, who will be Diddy, used force, fraud, or coercion to control the victim. All of the witnesses Cassie's gonna have, because dumbass Diddy was beating her, abusing her, and forcing her to do things in front of all of these people that he never thought he'd have to answer for. Now all of these people will have vengeance. And they will prove the force. And they will prove the coercion. The fraud has already been proved. Because that man signed her to a 10-year, 10-album deal. And she only had one album come out. One. That's crazy work. And y'all got to think, we got another 2 whole months of this. Every day has been eventful. This is this trial right here has not let nobody down. And all they had was Cassie. And the feds was so smart. You know why, y'all? Because they put Cassie first. Knowing she was pregnant. Let's go ahead and get her out of here. Let them talk all the trash they want to talk. Because they don't have that type of smoke for none of these other victims. And now, the thing about Diddy's lawyers is they can't control what the government asks these people on the stand right now about Diddy's character and all of these other things in between. They got to be shitting bricks. See, y'all, people say, oh, well, you don't know what sex trafficking. These people don't know what sex trafficking is. Read your screen. The definition of sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is defined as the recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, obtaining, or soliciting of a person for the purpose of a commercial sex act. That means paying for money. Commercial sex act. What is a commercial sex act, y'all? This refers to any act in which anything of value is given or received. That's money. What did Diddy have in his bag? $9,000. Baby oil. In the room. Force, fraud, or coercion. That is the key elements of sex trafficking. For adults over 18, force, fraud, or coercion is required for a commercial sex act to be considered sex trafficking. What did Cassie say today in the court, and what did they show? That Diddy told Cassie, after showing her a video of the freak off, if you don't come do this freak off, I will release this video and I will expose you to the world. That is not only force, that is coercion. All it takes is once. So Cassie went on the stand in day one and admitted she wanted to do the freak offs because she loved Diddy. And notice the thing nobody talked about what Cassie said. Cassie said in the text messages, private text messages, that the government was smart. They didn't bring this up. Diddy's lawyers brought this up. But Cassie said in the text messages, Sean, I love you. I don't care about your money. I love you. And what did she say in the end? The reason why she sued Sean. What did she say Sean was addicted to? Success. So the only thing that would have really did damage to him was hitting that nigga in his pockets. So she filed that lawsuit. And think about this, y'all. With everything she put in that lawsuit, coming up to the deadline to file the lawsuit, Diddy still thought he had mind control over that woman to where he thought ain't no way in the world she gonna file that lawsuit. And when the deadline came and Cassie filed, it was time for Cassie to file that lawsuit. You know what Sean Diddy Combs did? He stupidly called her bluff. He stupidly called her bluff. And she smoked him with a royal flush and sued his ass right before the deadline went out. In less than 24 hours, Diddy paid her $20 million. And you know what else happened that we found out today? Cassie got $30 million because Cassie got a $10 million settlement from the Intercontinental Hotel. And you know why she did? Because she was assaulted and abused in their hotel. And there was nothing to protect her life in that hotel. And remember, Cassie called for help in that hotel. She called for help. But Diddy, being a narcissist he is, and telling everybody, oh, well, release the full tape. Pull out the full tape. And the full tape exposed him and made him look even worse because the full tape showed that Cassie called for help. It showed that Sean dropped those bags, tied his towel up, and look at the side of Cassie's face. She's looking like, oh shit, he's coming for me again. Right? He left. He took her bags and they lied and said she had money in those bags that she took. That was a lie. That was her clothes. That was a complete lie. Diddy did not want her to leave from him. So he took her bag and took her phone back to the room so she couldn't leave. How do I know? Because he has the phone in his hand on the right-hand side. That's her phone in his hand. And when he came back, he had taken the bags back to the room, but still had Cassie's phone in his hand. And you can see how Cassie's looking down, devastated. Where was the hotel security staff the whole time they're supposed to be watching these videos and rushing upstairs to help this woman? And then, as I told you guys, after he charged at her, dragged her down that hallway, she looked at Diddy like, bro, are you serious, man? Are you serious? And the reason why Diddy, unless he changes his entire life and asks God to forgive him for his sins, he's headed on a one-way path straight to hell. No pass go, no collect, nothing. Except for slow singing and some flower bringing, baby. But the worst thing of it all is that all these people talk all this shit about Cassie. But Cassie was a 19-year-old girl, 21 years old. And she took a beating, put her glasses on, put a bandage on, and still smiled through that shit. She took it like a G. And these niggas say, oh, well, Cassie hit him too. Nigga, that's after he beat the holy hell out of her ass multiple times. And she finally stood up, stood on business against that demon. She smiled. It's like, couldn't break her. As much as he wanted to break that girl, couldn't break her. He could not break her. And that's the craziest part of it all. Is that through it all, he could not break that girl. You see her. You see her. All of the pain she went through. all of the shit she went through, bro. That's crazy work. That you have these dogs, niggas that's supposed to be men, dogs, that will come out here talking about Cassie a hoe. She this, she that. But them niggas won't talk about how Diddy's a hoe. The 304. They won't talk about that. It's sad that these dudes would sit up there and watch that girl's face and see this type of shit going on. You see that. I just want them to look at that. That's all I want them to do. Look at that. Right? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy work. That people can look at that and not feel, and she really loved that nigga. That's the crazy part about it. She really loved this crazy ass nigga. And Diddy told her in a message, I thought we was ride or die. That's what he told her in a message. I thought you was my ride or die. You thought that she was just going to take anything you did to her. Whether or not you damn near beat her to death, nigga. She's supposed to just take that shit? That's crazy, bro. And then these bump dancing ass niggas ask, well, why didn't Cassie leave? When Don Richards sat up there and told y'all, and Don Richards gonna say this in court, that she called her father on this nigga Diddy. And when her father came, right? When her father came, right? Diddy told her father that you need to be worried about your safety or something along those lines. That's crazy work, bro. Crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy. See, I'm finna show y'all something. I'm finna show y'all something. And it's like I said before, it really puts a spotlight on a lot of things y'all see and a lot of things that these people don't see, right? But it ought to teach everybody something. It ought to teach everybody something, right? And I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. This is Cassie that I'm about to show y'all. This Cassie at 19 years old. I want y'all to look at this girl. And you tell me, when I show you this picture, you tell me if you even think that mentally she was even in a state. That's a 19-year-old Cassie, bro. Crazy work, man. And to the brother Mike Esco, he said, why did she stay though? Brother, did you not listen? Don Richards said that Diddy threatened their life if they did not leave or did not listen. When they left, he sent security guards to go get them. and people within his inner circle, which they're going to testify against Diddy about that in this trial, that Diddy indeed did send them to go get Cassie. He took her phone, her tablet, and even threatened their life. Don Richards said that. Don Richards also said that Diddy allegedly had hired police officers, sir, to attend his parties and events, sending clear message to his guests that his influence extended to law enforcement officers, creating a climate of fear and a tactic warning that reporting him to the authorities would be both unacceptable and futile. This is another reason why when the feds went and raided Diddy's house, the feds didn't tell anybody whose house they were raiding, because Diddy's reach was so long that the feds feared that Diddy would get a warning before they ran into his home. Some of you guys are crazy as hell, and you do not understand psychology, you do not understand control, and you do not understand that, and you guys don't watch real life situations. How many times have you seen a girl run away from his boyfriend and this dude come and unalive her? We've seen it numerous times. Go to Google and look at it. It's stories every day about this type of stuff. Well, a girl will get the strength to leave that guy, and then the next thing you know, she's not on earth no more. This dude done crashed out and did something crazy. Right? Think about that. So that's what they're accusing Diddy of doing. And we live in a dirty world, brother. Right? So when you ask that dumbass question, that's the reason why. And you said, why didn't she leave? And let me tell you something, little boy. You know why she didn't leave? Because little bitch ass niggas like you refuse to step up and stand up to shit like this. Because see, if niggas stood on business and that was around Diddy and that stood on business with that nigga when he was beating up these girls, that shit would have been nipped in the bud. It would have been unacceptable. But the fact that you niggas like to turn a blind eye to this type of shit, that's the reason why it continues to go on. Because you niggas condone the bullshit. You niggas condone black on black crime. You celebrate about it. You talk about niggas crashing out. You sing songs of niggas talking about they killing they ops, nigga. That's why. These niggas is flaming hypocrites. Period. Disgraceful. Nigga yanked that girl. Everything them girls say that nigga did, he did. That nigga's on tape. And y'all hoe ass niggas always say y'all want to see the evidence. And when they show you punks the evidence, then you don't want to see it no more. These niggas is demons out here on demon time. And I'm talking about, bro, you got to have strong will when you fighting against these type of demons. I'm telling you, them niggas is crazy. But I tell y'all this, and I'm going to say it again. Can't no nigga looking like Bookman beat me, nigga. That ain't ever happening, nigga. Can't no nigga that look like Bookman fuck with me on no level, period, at all. And that's facts. The hell wrong with you? But it just go to show y'all. These cats don't have problems with stuff like this. And, you know, Big Gene was on Art of Dialogue today. And salute to my brother Art of Dialogue. And y'all have to go subscribe to Art's channel, man. Art is, like I said, a legend in his own time, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I want to play some excerpts from Art's interview with Gene Deal. Y'all have to go watch Art's channel, man. But I want y'all to listen to this. I want everybody to listen to this. To what Big Gene said, man.
Gene Deal, happy to have you back on the platform, man. Man, we've been here, done that. Let's do it again. Yes, indeed, man. We got a lot to get into, man. It's a lot going on this week. The first week of Diddy trial. I got to get your opinion on that. Yeah, man. It's a lot of people giving opinions now. At first, everybody was scared to give their opinion, and now they front and center telling all their stories, all they Diddy stories. He gonna break the internet. He gonna break YouTube. You see how many content creators is coming out and giving their opinion on this subject? Hell, man, it's crazy. Yep. So I guess you got a couple of questions for me right now, don't you? Yeah, man, I got a lot to ask you. All right, man. Hey, before you get started, man, I know most of this stuff is going to be about the trial and everything like that, but I just want people to know that I want to say something regarding the whole trial that came out that I thought that was significant. And another content creator had somebody who came out and spoke on this stuff, and this is about D-Rock. I did a whole, you don't mind if I do this, Mighty, right? No, break it all down. You got all the time in the world, man. All right, thanks, brother. I did a whole show. It's called The Biblical Betrayal of Biggie Smalls, where I lined up whatever happened to Big that night that week, and how it got played out and where he lost his life. When I said that D-Rock and Puff had Big go to that party. Now, it came out in the trial about D-Rock. Cassie was mentioning a lot of stuff about D-Rock. It's a couple of stories I knew. One, D-Rock told me the story. You understand? When I first was trying to get in touch with Puff. And two, I heard what Cassie had said. But I don't want to address that because I don't know your line of questioning. But I do want to address this. That D-Rock is the one who got Big out the room, and that's when Puff had took D-Rock about all day, and me and Big was in a Winnebago together talking about his whole life story. Big told me his whole life story. I told this 1,000 times, brother. But in the trial, Cassie had said something about D-Rock being head of Puff security after I had left. You understand? And that's when D-Rock had came home. You understand? They all moved out to California, the whole 9 yards. Now, D-Rock let Puff trick him. I don't believe that D-Rock was that sinister and knew what he was doing. I can't believe that he knew what he was doing and getting Big to that party. I knew that Puff may have promised him something. Puff may have promised D-Rock something to help him get Big to that party. For some reason, Big had to be at that party because Puff is the one who, and you'll see in Kirk Burroughs' papers, that Puff is the one who scratched out Big trip from going to London.
Man, it's a lot of layers. And that's another question. Because D-Rock's name did get brought up a lot, but everybody said, all these people said, like everybody said, yo, the only person that helped me when I was getting beat was D-Rock. That's crazy, bro. They said out of all the people who watched, Cassie said D-Rock always was the one that helped her. D-Rock writing this girl, telling her, yo, come on, it's time to put some ice on your eye. That's crazy, man. That's crazy work, bro. Gina said when Diddy stomped her in the stomach and beat her and dragged her around, that D-Rock was the only one that helped her. That's crazy, man. She said all them people watched it. They said Cassie, Diddy punched Cassie allegedly, is what Kalina said, in the stomach, in front of celebrities. And she's probably going to say this in court on Monday. Punched this girl in the stomach in front of celebrities while they were eating dinner. And nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. Think about that. Said Cassie slumped over when Diddy punched her. And they took her on up out of there, man. That's crazy, bro. Just use the girl as a fucking punching bag. And we gonna look past this shit like ain't nothing happened. But we always talking about what somebody else doing to black folks. Nigga sad, man. That excuse is lame, nigga. Because if you ain't gonna call it out and people ain't gonna tell the truth on all sides, then don't nobody want to hear when you talking about your side. Especially when niggas don't, you rarely see niggas stand up calling shit out for black women. Now, what they gonna do to Kalina next? Not Kalina. What they gonna do to Don Richard next? Call her a hoe? They gonna call her a hoe now? Call her a 304? Well, how they gonna attack her now that she's testifying against this nigga? Come on now. Think about this. Think about this. That lets y'all know how niggas move in real life, though. That's crazy work, bro. Never seen nothing like this before in my entire life. Like, go down like that, bro. That's insane, man. Insane work, bro. And we sitting out here watching this thing, the whole play in front of the world. The whole play. And people out here talking about that Diddy was whooping his people ass in front of other people. It's disgraceful, man. But if Cassie would have lost her life, then everybody would have been up here crying, talking about some, man, it ain't right, man, nah, nigga. Because when y'all had a chance to make a change and do something, you niggas was hoes.
Forms and a lot of things is going viral on the internet that D-Rock helped line Big up, you know, for that night Big got murdered. You understand? And it was crazy, and it goes through my mind every time I hear something about that, when I'm seeing D-Rock hold his head talking about, yo, they got my man, the night Big got shot up. So I just wanted to bring that out there, bro. And you might have some more questioning on that later on or whatever, I don't know. But you go ahead and do your thing, man. That was real big on this trial to me, you know, to hear that come out there like that. Wow, man. But speaking of Suge, Cassie testified that Diddy stopped in the middle of a freak off. When D-Rock came in the room and told Diddy that Suge was at a diner, you know anything about that? Can you break that down? See, I know two situations like that. See, Cassie told the story on the witness stand about how Puff and her was in a freak off, and then D-Rock intervened or whatever like that, and they masked themselves up in all black, took the guns out the safe, and went to find Suge. You know what I'm saying? Suge even spoke about he glad they didn't find him because a whole lot of other people probably been dead then too, you know, if they would have found him. Now, she testified that, you know, Puff and D-Rock was going to try to you know, unalive Suge. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I do know this, me and D-Rock had a conversation about why he's so close to Puff now. You understand? And he told me he was in a diner, Mel's Diner. I guess it was probably Mel's Diner. That's one of the diners that stay late open in California. He said that he was trapped in there and he ain't have no burners or nothing on him. He ain't have no guns, no nothing. He said he called Puff. Now, this is a story coming from D-Rock. He said he called Puff, and Puff came there. But if Puff would have came in the diner, they would have known something. He didn't come in the diner. He sent Cassie in there with the burners. And Cassie gave D-Rock the gun in the diner. Now, this is coming from D-Rock. The story Cassie told was is that it was a whole different story from what D-Rock had told me, because D-Rock said he was in the diner himself. And Puff came down there with the guns, sent Cassie in there and gave him one, and was outside waiting on him to come outside. So that's the story that I knew, and I had already said that and expressed that in one of my shows before. Now, the story Cassie told, it was like she saw D-Rock and Puff both put on black and went to go unalive Suge. So those are two different stories that I know of. You know, one from D-Rock and the one we heard from Cassie. It may be.
Man, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But again, man, you guys, y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? Man. Wow, bro. Wow, man. You know, wow, bro. Diddy's in for it, man. I mean, we're gonna find out. He's in for it. I told you, they got all of his inner circle. A lot of them cats come to testify against him. That have been given proffers. So it's gonna be fun to see how they're gonna try and debunk all these people. And that's gonna show y'all the RICO, the racketeering, right? That's gonna show y'all the empire that he had controlled. So you guys definitely let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all feel, bro. Man, crazy work today, man. But, you know, hey, Kalina went up there. The whole internet going crazy right now. I'm watching online. Everybody talking about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Salute to everybody who supported the channel, man. Oh, shout out to Lisa Carter with the $50 donation in the Cash App. I see you in there too. I appreciate you. Much love to you. All right? I'm gone.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do. Stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.